Hello, it's Alan from Grommet's Leathercraft, here to talk about single and double sword belts. So this right here is one of our Style 1 integrated sword belts. It is a single belt, meaning it is a one belt that is attached to the scabbard. It's laced on just like you would. It works the same way that a normal belt would work, except it has a scabbard attached to it. So you just put it on like you would the normal belt or one of our Ranger belts or ring belts. You lace it on, and then you do your hero knot. You go up and then back down just like that. So you get your cool dangle going. And then you just have your scabbard suspended from your hip just like that. This works really well for pretty much most blades. Shorter blades definitely, because you still have the height to draw it pretty easily without much difficulty. It's also a very comfortable way to carry your sword, doesn't really get in the way very much. I get a lot of questions about what the difference is between a single and double sword belt. The double sword belt adds an extra belt, and it's literally just a belt. It's the exact same as one of our Ranger belts, but matched to your single sword belt. And what you do with that is you literally just put it on the same way you would a normal belt, except it's anchored on one side to your single sword belt, the one that's attached to your scabbard. So you lace one of them onto your scabbard, and then the other one just gets put on like a normal belt, except it'll be attached on one side, generally with like either a leather lace or Chicago screw, depending on your hardware preferences. For that one, you just put it on like you would a normal belt. You do your hero knot as you do, get your dangle going, and then what you have is the ability to kind of play with the angle of your sword belt more, because if it's just a single belt, you can't really sling it very low. You have to kind of wear it fairly high, otherwise the weight of the sword will drag it down. But if you have the secondary belt anchored on one end, you can have that be your waist belt, and then you can sling your sword belt a little bit lower, which is good if you have a longer sword. So if you have a sword with a longer blade, it's better to have it slung a little bit lower so that we have more clearance to draw. Not super necessary with a shorter blade like this, but it does look cool slinging a little bit lower like that. And this type of belt setup has been, pretty historical. There's lots of effigies and paintings and stuff of people with secondary belts like this, slinging them a little bit lower, especially later period with the longer blades. You'll see it a lot more often. You see it in movies fairly often as well. Kingdom of Heaven is a big one where they have the secondary belts on pretty much everybody. And it's a cool look, but it's also very functional because it does help you to draw your sword a little bit easier. Yeah, so that is the difference between a single and double belt. The single belt is just the belt that's laced onto the scabbard. The double belt is the second belt that you anchor that sword belt off of. So, yeah, thank you.